Hello everybody, there's a new poll on Old School RuneScape, so let's go ahead and vote. So, Old School Content Poll 29, the Grand Exchange. Before you vote, please make sure you know what's happening in the dev blog, so please click here for my latest video on that. The key things to mention from the newest dev blog are, if the Grand Exchange passes this poll, they'll be offering tweaks to it in the next poll. If the Grand Exchange doesn't pass, they'll offer the ability to trade through the trading post in the next poll. So that will be coming after this poll. So let's start off on question 1. Should they introduce the Grand Exchange, the trading post will be removed and replaced with a Grand Exchange building northwest of Varrock. A collect option would also be added to every bank. I'm going to go ahead and vote no, I just think it's simply not old school. Next, question 2. Should they add a basement to the Warriors Guild containing bigger Cyclopses that have a chance of dropping Dragon Defenders? To access the basement, you will need to show Camfrina a Rune Defender to get a key. You'll still need to pay the same token fee as you pay to access the Cyclopses on the top floor. So let's have a quick look at the weapon stats. So this is the Dragon Defender. The Dragon Defender will come with the following stats: a plus 25 stab attack, a plus 24 slash attack, a plus 23 crush attack, a negative 3 magic attack, negative 2 range attack, a plus 25 stab defense, a plus 24 slash defense, a plus 23 crush defense, a negative 3 magic defense, a negative 2 range defense, and a plus 6 strength bonus. So do I actually want to get the Dragon Defender in game? Personally, I don't think I actually do. I kind of like the idea of having an expansion to the Warriors Guild, but I think just having larger Cyclopses isn't really going to cut it for me. Really, I think some kind of boss, or more of a mini-game in the Warriors Guild could be a little better, so I'm going to vote no on that. Next, should they increase the number of available bank slots for both free-to-play and members by 200? I'm not really someone that needs a lot of bank space, but I'm going to vote yes, simply for the fact it would be nice. Next, question 4. Should net become the left-click option on the monkfish fishing spots at Piscatoris? I'm going to vote yes, nice quality of life update there. Next, question 5. Should they make messages from players that you add to your ignore list disappear? I'm going to vote yes. I really hate it when you have to add someone to your ignore list and you still see their message. Next, question 6. Should saplings of tradable seeds be made tradable? I'm going to vote yes. Sometimes a bit of a pain to get the seeds. I don't really see why the saplings were never tradable. Next, question 7. Should they allow Avis devices to retrieve ammo regardless of where it's landed? Currently, they cannot collect ammo from anywhere you cannot directly walk. I'm going to actually vote no on that. I don't think that it's much of a big issue, and you don't really lose that much anyway. So I think it's nice to keep it as the game is. Next, question 8. Should filtering public chat also filter the chat scene over other players' heads? I'm going to vote yes. It'll be so much nicer when you just go into a large area and you've filtered it. Next, question 9. Should they append the names of the recipe for disaster gloves to include the levels they represent? For example, rune gloves. I think this is a good idea, but really, they're not made out of rune, so I don't really see the point in having that. So I'm actually going to vote no on that. Next, question 10. Should they adjust the inventory icon appearances of the staffs and maple logs to prevent them being confused with battle staffs and yew logs in trade screens? Now, I understand why they want to do this, but really I think these are iconic images that you get when you play the game. Now, of course, they could make the images look quite good, but to prevent them being confused, they're going to have to change them quite a bit. So I'm actually going to vote no on that. Next, question 11. Should they remove the unnecessary dialogue when entering or leaving Sophenum for those who are allowed to use the gate? I'm going to vote yes. I'm sure that kind of gets annoying when you're trying to get in and out of there. Next, question 12. Should they change Trouble Brewing to only require one player on each team to start a game? Now, I've never been to Trouble Brewing, but I know it's a very depopulated minigame, and people would probably like to play it, so I'm going to vote yes on that. Next, question 13. Should they add a right-click option to Slayer Masters to get an assignment? I think that'll be a very useful update, so I'm going to vote yes on that. Question 14. Should they open the north side of Varrock's west bank to provide access to the agility shortcut? I don't really use that shortcut much, and I don't know many people that do. If they do, obviously they have to run about the bank, but it's not like there's anything else there that they need access to. So I'm going to vote no on that. Next, question 15. Should they add NPCs that unload items for 5 GP per item near certain general stores? These NPCs will be intended for the use of Iron Men, though other players could also use them to unload items without risk of anyone taking them. NPCs will be added to the general stores in Rimington, Polinovich, and the Bandit Camp, and Jiminua store on Karamja. Now I was thinking this could be really handy, but now I think about it more, I think Iron Men have assigned themselves to that challenge, and they should keep to that challenge, so I'm going to vote no. Next, should deposit all buttons be added to bank deposit boxes? I'm going to vote yes, sometimes that would be quite nice. Next, question 17. Should they add a timer to the fight cave to tell you how long it took you to get from wave 1 to killing Tuztok Jad? I'm going to vote yes, be nice to let players see that. And finally, question 18. Should they add a fee of 50k to the priestess who collects your dropped items at Zora? She'll be made to show you what items she is holding for you and offer you the chance to discard them if you do not want to pay. So I'm going to vote yes on that. I think it would be good to help take out a bit of money from the game, and a lot of these people that can actually kill Zora are going to be making a lot of money anyway. So let's go ahead and vote. Thank you for voting. So far we've had 26,375 votes, which is a lot, but obviously having the GE and Dragon Defender makes it a big poll. So, out of those 26,375 votes, 73.3% want the Grand Exchange to be introduced. 84.5% want a basement in the Warriors Guild containing bigger Cyclopses to have a chance of dropping the Dragon Defender. 95.2% want bank slots to be extended by 200 slots. 89.1% want the net to become the left click option at the fishing spots in Piscatoris. 88.9% want to make messages from players that you add to your ignore list disappear. 76.8% want saplings of tradable seeds to be made tradable. 89.1% want Ava's devices to retrieve ammo regardless of where it landed. 65.3% want filtering public chat to also filter the chat scene over players' heads. 86.4% want to append the names of the recipe for disaster gloves to represent the level they are. 79.3% want to adjust the inventory icon of staffs and maple logs to prevent them being confused with battle staffs and new logs in the trade screens. 90% want to remove the unnecessary dialogue when entering or leaving Sophenum for those who are allowed to use the gate. 82.5% want to change Trouble Brewing to only require one player on each crew to start a game. 94.5% want to have a right-click option to Slayer Masters to get an assignment. 89.6% want to open the north side of the Varrock West Bank to provide access to the agility shortcut. 78.9% want NPCs that unknow items for 5 GP in certain general stores. 92% want deposit all buttons to be added to bank deposit boxes. 93% want a timer to be added to the fight caves to tell you how long it took you from wave 1 to killing Tuztok Jad. And finally, 65.8% want a fee of 50k to be added to the priestess who collects your dropped items at Zora. So this is an interesting poll. Looks like we're not going to be getting the fee to get your items back at Zora. Most of these other things look like they're going to pass. Few ones that are a little closer to 75%, like the NPCs at the general stores and the inventory icon adjustments to the staffs and maple logs. Looks like we're not going to be getting the public chat filtering the chat scene over players' heads, which I'm actually quite surprised at. I thought that people would like that. Saplings of tradable seeds being tradable, that's actually really close to not passing. It is currently passing, and I'm assuming it will pass, but it's going to be quite a close vote. Everything else looks like it's going to pass, except for the Grand Exchange. Currently it's 73.3%. I don't know if more people are going to vote for it or not, and personally I really hope it stays beneath 75%, because I really feel that the Grand Exchange is not old school. It eliminates the way that you think you're going to get items. For example, when you've got a Grand Exchange and you've got a bit of money, the way you want an item, you'll say, I want, say, a rune plate body. You'll just go to the Grand Exchange, buy a rune plate body. But when you don't have a Grand Exchange, you start to think more about where you could get a rune plate body. You can get it from players. How are you going to do that? You could use the trading post. You can go to World 1 and go into Varrock. You could ask your friends. You could find monsters that drop it and go and kill them. You could look at the skill guides and realise, hey, I can make this with 99 smithing. Now obviously for a rune plate body that's a bit of a high requirement, but for other items such as perhaps battle staffs, they've got lower requirements of crafting, magic. It's easier to get. Also, it makes you start looking at stores. For example, perhaps you think, well, I don't want to spend time getting it cheaply off players. I could quickly spend a bit more of a premium and buy it from a store. Without a Grand Exchange, it puts you in a better mindset And despite Iron Man kind of being around for a while, I think having no Grand Exchange in Old School really pushed that. So like I said, I really hope that it doesn't pass, although it's very close and it could potentially pass. If it does pass, I probably won't be too bothered, but I will feel that Old School has lost a lot of its touch. If you've not voted in this poll yet, please make sure you go ahead and vote in it. Before you do, please make sure you know what's happening in the dev blog, so click here for my dev blog video. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and share, and if you want to keep up to date with the Old School RuneScape updates, dev blogs and polls, please subscribe. I've been Lewis, thanks for watching, goodbye.